read this quote. Somebody said, the best advice I've ever received as a filmmaker. And the very first soundbite that they quoted was, no one goes to see your movies because your crew had a good time. Okay. That was some sort of great, amazing, life-changing piece of information. And I was like, I guess in one way I can go, yes, right? If we're going about trying to placate everybody as a filmmaker, as a producer, then we're not really looking at, where we actually have to say, hey, you're not showing up in this place in the way you said you would. And that doesn't serve, for sure. It's also one of the things, though, where if you're saying that you don't care about how your crew feels, or that nobody goes to films because of like the fact that the crew felt great about it, they're not an either or. They're not mutually exclusive. You can have...
There's a 10-minute slowdown in 1 mile. You are still on the fastest route.
That's kind of how it feels like in my career right now with the strikes. There's a 10-minute slowdown. To me, hearing this phrase that nobody goes sees film because the crew had a good time on your film. Well, guess what? Nobody that had a bad time on a film is going to give a shit. My experience is there's a danger in the way that this can be held and taken, right? If we're saying, like, yes, if you are placating your crew at the expense of yourself because you're not putting yourself first, then yes, that's a problem, right? That isn't going to serve you in the long run with your film. And it also could be taken in the way of, like, no one cares about how well you treat your crew, therefore that doesn't matter. And therefore, like, it's okay to take advantage of people, right? Like, if we believe that, it's not going to affect our bottom line if we don't treat our crew very well, right? Because then people will still come. Well, we're then making money off at the expense of the people who have put in the time and effort. I think the best projects are always the ones where everybody has a really good time. Because filmmaking is fun. We're telling stories. It's meant to be a really good time. I mean, how can you ask people in the world to enjoy what you're doing and what you've created if in the process of creating it, everybody's miserable? I think there's something really interesting about this piece of advice that I look at and I go, I'm not so sure it's a very good piece of advice. Like, you can have a successful film and have the experience of your crew being very well treated and people wanting to go see the film knowing both. If the saying is, well, no one goes to see movies because you treated your crew well, I go, well, yeah, and sure, of course, they're looking for a great entertainment, which makes me go, sounds like as a filmmaker, you didn't really make sure you had the strongest story being told. It's not about whether or not you take advantage of your crew to get there. It's about whether or not you've made it so that you're so well prepared for the filming process, that you're so clear about what the story is, you can take care of your crew and deliver a great story because you're so well prepared. We can also hold it, though, in another way. Your crew's happiness on set, though, isn't the marketing point of your film. After we make a project, the whole point is, where does this then go? How are we then connecting this with the audience so that they'll want to come and see it? That is definitely not the marketing edge of, like, our crew had such a great time, come see our film. And people want to go, well, what's the story? Why would I be interested in seeing it? So, like, in that sense, 100% when it comes to marketing your film, no one's going to come see your film because of how well you do with your crew from a marketing standpoint. And, like, as I'm talking through all this with you, I'm going, right, from a marketing standpoint, that's 100% the facts. You get to come up with the hook and the story and how that feels for the audience, right, to want to come and see it, to want to be a part of your project. And the great time that your film crew had on set working with you also matters. I say all this because, like, my initial gut reaction to this soundbite was that it's not really looking at the world from a perspective of, like, taking care of the people that work with us, which is 100% what's going on with the strikes right now, right? We're seeing this perspective of, we don't really care about who's below us, so as long as we get our due money, whatever the word is I wanted there. That if we take out that piece of conversation out in the middle of nowhere of advice, then saying, well, no one's going to come see your film because of how much fun your crew has. When I first heard it, I definitely heard it from the lens of, oh, you're saying the crew doesn't matter. You're saying that this doesn't matter. And you're looking at saying that to take advantage that that's not what makes a great film. And that's one perspective. And that's why I think taking out quotes out of context can be dangerous. Because that's not what I'm realizing is probably what the intention of the quote was. I think the intention of the quote was definitely in the marketing structure, right? When it comes to marketing, no one's going to come see your film because your crew had a good time. They're going to come see your film because you have a compelling story. And, right, that's what the intentionality of the marketing is. So I'm just processing out my own experience of this as we talk. Yeah. Anyways, there we go. I hope you're having a great day. I promise you I am driving safe. I will talk to y'all another day.